Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I just was looking around YouTube and realized that I'd seen some gravity launch videos for a few months ago involving rocks and all that other fun stuff. And I realized that there's not been one to update for the artificial gravity block. The idea and the principle is just the same. You use gravity to propel your ship forward, but now with the artificial gravity blocks, you can actually make it a controllable thing from your ship. Makes it a lot easier to load ships in, because you got a lot less groundwork you have to do, and it's all controllable from the ship cockpit. So if you wanted to, say, incorporate something like this into your single player world, makes it a lot less complicated to do so. So I'm gonna take a look right here, and we will come over here. I've got this all built. We've got a simple ship design, flying wing, engines tacked on. It's really kind of ugly right now, but definitely could be improved. The only thing I will say is that you need your gravity, or the artificial mass blocks, you need those as close to the front as you can get them. Just because the way it is. If it's towards the back, I'll go ahead and tell you. If it's towards the back, the nose of your ship will drag down and you'll launch crooked. Might even snap a landing gear. I haven't snapped a landing gear yet, but it is a possible hazard. So you getting them closer to the front, it's pulling the mass forward instead of pushing it forward. So you're less likely to see. Oops, wrong button. You're less likely to see any of that. I also have way too many gyroscopes on this thing, and it is kind of ridiculous. Now what you're going to do is very carefully pilot your ship up towards the launch deck and get all lined up however you want. Whee! Keep in mind that the longer you're in the gravity field, the more acceleration you'll get, which generally speaking is what you want. Now I'm going to get kind of close, and then to avoid damaging the deck, turn off my inertial dampeners, move down the rest of the way. Ooh, I was going a little fast. Alright, we'll lock us in and do that. There we go. And that's close enough. I could scoot back more, but I don't really feel like messing with it. Alright, I'm going to launch. Now, the way you do this is, I'm actually almost perfect center on this. Sweet. I've got a cockpit here so that, you know, as a mock-up of a ship deck, you could have some sort of observation person to make sure that, you know, the deck is clear and, you know, comm traffic between them, and you're good to launch, and all that sort of fun stuff that everyone likes role-playing with. I went overkill on the reactors. There's one gravity generator there with a field that is very narrow, very skinny, just to give gravity for the deck crew behind that line. And then I've got a whole bunch of generators right here that are all set to negative gravity, so they should throw you out. I'm going to launch from this angle so that you can, or rather from this angle so you can kind of see how fast you're going. Keep an eye on the speed. I've topped out at 101 meters a second. I haven't changed anything, so let's see what happens. So you go to your terminal, and you got all these artificial masses. You want to turn them all on. I had another ship design, but it was just too long. I couldn't get enough acceleration out of it. So that should be all of them. Double check. Yep. Alright. Turn that off, and you see we're not accelerating yet. Well, it says we are, actually. It says 0.9 meters a second. It is actually dragging us forward, you know, very, very, very slowly, technically. But as soon as I release this landing gear, we are going to go. And, in fact, I will launch from here so you can see how fast this station goes behind us. So here you go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, launch. 102.2 meters per second. And that took much less energy than actually accelerating up to that point. And that's really, honestly, that is the only reason you would want to use something like this. This would be sort of a scramble option. You're out, woohoo! You're out in space. You're out in space, and you've got fighters loaded up in this launch bay kind of thing, all ready to go. And yeah, like we're out of sight of this station now. Nope, there it is. You're all of a sudden, enemy comes up. You need to launch your fighters right away. They've got, you know, plenty of fuel in them. You could just launch them, but you want to get them right up to attack speed. You know, shoot them away from your ship so that, you know, they can immediately go start taking the fight to the enemy. That's what this kind of system is really good for. Whoa, man, way too many gyroscopes on this thing. That's what this kind of system is really good for, because this, like you saw, this got up to 102 meters per second in this much space, and that was what, 8? That sounds right. 8 artificial gravity or artificial mass. If you were to put this out another 4 or 5 blocks, you'd top out. You'd get 104 meters a second. You can't go any fast. Well, I mean, you can go faster than that, but it won't register. And so this is a really good way to launch, you know, launch fighters. The other thing too is that this, you can build around this, and yeah, you can build around this, and so then your launch deck is protected as well. So your fighters, they don't get launched out the side of your ship, under your ship, front of your ship, back of your ship, wherever you want to put this thing, top of your ship. Well, I've seen a lot of cool designs for all of them, but this allows your ships to be protected for much, much longer, and when they come out, they're at attack speed, which most people aren't going to be expecting. They're not going to be, most people, because most ships would either be so huge to get to that speed over such a short distance, it would be unfeasible to launch something like that from the interior of the ship. But additionally, just because this is not a very common design, I haven't seen this on any of the big ship designs I've seen from like Sage or from Last Stand, Aaron at Last Stand Gamers, which, by the way, they both have some really cool ship designs, so throw some support their way, because I like them and I subscribe to them, so you should too, because they've got cool stuff. Anyways, they don't know me. I am a non-attorney, non-paid spokesperson. But I just like their channels, I like their designs, and I've got some of their designs. I've already thought about how cool it would be to have something like this inside it. Simply because, like I said, it's a very protected area for your fighters to launch. They come out at attack speed, you know, just kind of blazing along. And now, once you get out, you know, if you want to land in the same hangar, you're going to have to be very careful to make sure you turn your those artificial mass blocks off. Oh, well, we're here. Let me go ahead and hit Alt, Shift, F12. Yeah, so you can see the gravity fields. This is them. I've got all of them set up to 20 meters wide by 80 meters high by 12 deep for the end. And you're going to have to change those depending on how big the fighters are you're launching, where their artificial mass blocks are, how big your ship is, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, all sorts of stuff. And in fact, technically speaking, you could do double launch bays on this, because you could have a launch bay underneath this. There's enough room. You could launch fighters right side up, upside down, you know, however you want to think of it. Have them clamped to the roof down here, only for them it would be the floor, and then shoot them out, so you could launch 2 fighters at a time. You could build something like this really wide, launch 2 fighters side by side. I probably wouldn't, because I'd be worried about them bumping into each other if somebody did something. Oh, other obvious thing, turn your inertial dampeners off when you're launching, because otherwise your ship is going to be fighting the acceleration the whole way. Y'all probably knew that already, though, and so that I don't need to dwell on that. Anyways, that was my basic little design. If you have any questions, feel free to leave something in the comments. I am mostly what this channel is for just whatever I feel like putting up. I'm an aspiring voice actor, so I'll probably do a lot of voice demo vids. So if that's the kind of thing you want to hear and see, subscribe. I'll probably do some Minecraft stuff, probably do some more Space Engineer stuff, but yeah, this has been Enright, and I'm signing off.